This guy in 2024 made over $60,000 on Better.
This strategy is going to take your results to the next level.
And another $100,000 lifetime on
Most importantly, it works. It really works.
These are 7 ways Alex uses OddsJam to make the money he makes on DFS platforms. Starting with number 1, his receipts.
Well, Better, that's a DFS app I use. I made over 60 grand on Better last year. All of these DFS books I have very high profit on. On Underdog Fantasy, I'm up over $100,000 lifetime.
Whenever somebody claims they found a profitable betting strategy, the first thing I want to know is whether they've used it successfully. In this case, Alex isn't leading with a theory. He's leading with his own results. And according to him, he's made over $60,000 on Better and over $100,000 lifetime on Underdog Fantasy. So my obvious question becomes, how does he find these opportunities consistently? Next up, why most DFS players actually lose most of their slips.
I use them all because they all set their own lines. In a slip, every other book, like Better, had his line at 8.5. So we never know which of these DFS platforms is going to have the best value on a given day. That's why having more books is better. More books means more profitable betting opportunities.
Now this right here is probably the biggest mistakes recreational DFS players make. Most people open one app, build a lineup, and submit it. That's it for the day. But every platform is creating their own numbers independently. If one platform hangs a better line than another, that difference could create value over time. The challenge is finding those differences before everyone else does, and that edge just vanishes. Next up, we have the Puka line mistake.
So the general strategy I use to beat them, and I've made videos on, is pretty simple. For example, on pick 6, I took Puka's over 6.5 receptions on DraftKings pick 6. Prize Picks actually had his line higher at 7. If Puka would have had exactly 7 receptions, I would have pushed on Prize Picks. I would have won my play on DraftKings pick 6.
This example perfectly demonstrates why line shopping matters. The player is exactly the same, the game is exactly the same, but one platform will give you a significantly better number. Over hundreds and thousands of entries, getting better numbers like this completely changes your long-term results and turns you from that low live sports bettor to the 1% bettors that actually profit. Now next, we have the hidden juice problem.
If you go over to FanDuel and you find 3 bets that are exactly minus 122 odds and you pair them together, your parlay is going to come out to be plus 500 odds or a 6x payout. So basically what Prize Picks is doing is they're charging you juice, implied juice, that's what I call it, through their payout structure. So they're basically giving you minus 122 odds for any pick on the board in a 3-pick entry. If you run a 3-man on Prize Picks, you're getting a 6x payout, you're getting minus 122 odds. Most sports books where you can place straight bets, a lot of them for player props are minus 110, or minus 114 juice. So Prize Picks is charging you a little more.
Now this is something that I find a problem in the DFS community, and that causes many arguments over it. Even though Prize Picks doesn't display traditional sportsbook odds, the payout structure will still create an implied price. So in simpler terms, the platform is building its edge into the payouts themselves. Understanding that hidden cost is important because it tells us how much value we need to overcome in order to become profitable. Because all these payout structures have a hit rate needed to be profitable, and I'm telling you this right now, it's surprising how high those hit rates need to be in order for someone to become profitable. Next up, we have the cross market strategy.
All sportsbooks set their own unique odds, right? So basically, arbitrage is just when 2 sportsbooks get so out of sync, right, that you can bet equal and opposite outcomes, the over on one book, the under on a different book, to guarantee a profit. So whenever there's an arbitrage opportunity, plus 250 over, minus 242 under, one of those 2 bets has to be plus EV, right? Or mathematically profitable.
Now, this is where the strategy becomes really interesting. Instead of trying to predict games, Alex is actually looking for disagreements between markets. If these two books are far enough apart that a profit could theoretically exist between them, then at least one side of that disagreement is likely offering better value than the others. So the goal essentially becomes identifying which side that is. Next up, we have how sharp books predict winners.
But the question is this at all useful for DFS books? Because on DFS books, like on Prize Picks, you can't arbitrage bet. Novig is a very sharp book. So Novig, ProfitX are two sharp books. So on Novig, Pavetta is a plus 123 underdog to have over 1.5 walks. You can see there's a decent amount of liquidity too, $400. So Novig is a peer-to-peer site. Typically the people setting lines, setting markets on Novig, it's like trading firms. It's really smart people. So if the market is liquid, it's a very accurate data point. So basically you look at all the sports books too. You look at Fliff, his unders heavily favored. So again, that would be a great play to include in our Prize Pick slip. So this is a crossed market.
The idea here isn't that sportsbooks are always right. It's that certain markets tend to be more efficient because they're shaped by large amounts of money and sophisticated bettors that are sharply putting their money where the edge is. By comparing these DFS lines against those markets, you can get another data point that helps determine whether a projection is fair or potentially mispriced. Now, last but not least, we have the odds jam edge.
We just have one crossed market, Pavetta. Obviously, the discount on Lamar is good. And then these other three picks were just plus EV picks from OddsJam. And basically, that's all I do, right? I look for crossed markets. Where is Prize Picks crossed with sharp books like Novig, ProfitX, Pinnacle, stuff like that. And whenever you get that, I run the Prize Pick side. Obviously, I can't actually arbitrage bet this, but I'm just running the Prize Pick side, the under at minus 119. So that's kind of how cross-market plus EV betting works. You can do it on Underdog Fantasy as well. So for example, on Underdog Fantasy, the best type of slip is a 6-pick flex play. Again, I've done videos that kind of like break down all this math, all this nerdy stuff. But basically, if we go back here on Underdog, if you take Alyssa Thomas to get a double-double or to not get a double-double, her over or under, you're getting the same payout. You can see minus 116, plus 118. The plus number for equal and opposite outcomes is greater than the minus number, so this is a crossed market.
So at this point, we've established a problem. Different books create different lines, and some of those lines offer more value than others. The challenge is finding them consistently and in a timely manner that doesn't eat up your entire day. That's where OddsJam comes in. Instead of manually checking platform after platform, the software compares markets, highlights discrepancies within seconds, and helps identify those opportunities that might otherwise be missed and can cash you out. If you're looking to try OddsJam, the link will be in the bio. Sign up so you can become a profitable sports bettor, better than the 99%.